Depends. لحظة, depends. I benefited a lot from film school. I learned a lot in film school, but it's not learning how to frame. It's the things that are still with me from film school is how do you think with the camera? How do you use the tools that you have to think on a cinema level, on a filmmaking level? And to me, the best courses were history of cinema, history of art, looking at painters' work and analyzing paintings. Yes, you can do that outside school. Definitely, absolutely, you can do that on your own. But if you don't come from that world, or you're not surrounded with as much art as you can be surrounded in a good school, this is where the difference is. But do we really need a school to understand editing today? No, I don't think we need a school to understand editing. But if a good school knows how to teach the history of editing and what does it mean and why do we do edits and where are these ideas coming from, what is the difference between how we used to edit on film versus where did we get to have an app on our phone that gets you to slide in and slide out a couple of videos that you've done. How did we reach that point? If you understand that, it will help the mind of a filmmaker to grow beyond what they can access online and learning on their own. But is there only one way to do that? Absolutely not. It can be film school if it's a good film school, and if the student is not exposed to this kind of conversations, this kind of environment on their own, school can be irrelevant if that student has the appetite and the curiosity to go and learn it on their own. One thing for sure is that in the school, you have a community around you. You have a community of people that think the same way that you do, or at least that you can collaborate and start your first, let's say, rookie team, or the first time you have someone interesting that will debate your ideas, your thoughts, and you meet a lot of people. And one of the people that I work on with almost every project used to be a teacher in my school, which is the DP Fadi Asim, who did Very Big Shot, and we did together Jin for Netflix, and then we did TV Society. So he was my teacher in Alba, and he's a very close friend. And that wouldn't have happened. Maybe I would have met Fadi somewhere else, but lots of the camera operators who worked on Very Big Shot used to be in the same school. I met Alain Saadi, the lead actor, and the one who co-wrote the film with me. I met him on a short film set of another colleague at Alba, and now we're like the closest friends, and we collaborate on all projects together. And again, if you have the exposure, or if you are exposed to this community and you have enough curiosity to do it on your own, you don't need a film school. But if you don't have that, film school could be a very good way, especially if you choose a good film school. It could be a good bridge to that, and it could be a very enriching experience, as long as it's not purely focused on the techniques and the new technologies, because all of it is going to change. So I remember when, I don't know if you know, I'm not sure which generation have you seen of camera evolvement, but one of the films that we did in film school was shot on a Super 16, so a 16mm film. And then I was part of the generation where the Canon, what was it called? The T2D or Canon Mark III, I can't remember.
Yes.
It was the first time you have an HD sensor that is presented on a photo, on a camera photo that records video. And it was like the end is here and the future has begun, and we don't know what we're going to do with cinema. And but it hasn't changed a lot. It has changed maybe the way we frame things, maybe a couple of things on the technology level. So yeah, if you're exposed to that, if you can get access to that on your own, akid you don't need film school.